Hey guys, today we're showing you how to change out the shock spring on your Yamaha XT250. Now this is a huge upgrade for these bikes since they're undersprung stock, so getting the right one for your weight is going to help you out a bunch, especially if you're moto camping. If you have luggage back here, it's going to make a huge difference. Now we do carry springs for the forks as well. You might want to check those out, but this video is just for the shock. It's going to be a similar process for the 08 and newer bikes. Let's go ahead and get started. To get this done, we've got a torque wrench. I've got 8, 14, 17, and 19 millimeter sockets, safety glasses. I do want to point out, you want to have a couple wrenches to loosen and tighten everything. And then we're also using a 5 millimeter Allen, a measuring tape. I've got my hammer and shock punch. And then as far as parts, I've got this Racetech spring. I know it says Eibach right on it, but this is straight out of the Racetech packaging. You're also going to need 3 collars, so don't forget those when you go to order your spring. Now with this, we do have several options on our website. Just use that drop down menu to select the correct size of spring for your weight. First thing you want to do is put your bike on the stand, or for us we have a scissor jack. You just want to make sure the rear wheel is slightly off the ground. Next we've got 2 bolts holding the rear seat in place. We'll take those out and pull the seat off. Next, you want to remove both of your side panels. So we've got this bolt in the side. We're using a 5 millimeter Allen on it. We've got 2 prongs and then a tab in the back. So underneath that right side cover, we've got a couple relays and our starter relay and the main fuses. So these assemblies, we're just going to pull them off. There's some rubber holders, keeping those in place. Pull them straight out, and then that's going to give us access to that upper shock bolt. So I'm going to take my 17 millimeter socket and a wrench. We're going to set it on there. We've got an extension. Now on the other side, underneath this hose, we've got the upper shock mounting nut. We're going to need another 17 millimeter socket on that one. Then we can loosen everything up. I'll use my magnet to pull that washer off so I don't lose it. Now we're going to leave the upper shock mounting bolt in place for a second, and we're going down underneath the linkage. We're going to remove the lowest bolt. Then you can lift up slightly on the swing arm. That's going to free up the bolt, and you can slide it out. And then these links, you can just push them down. That's going to expose that lower shock mounting bolt. So on this one side's going to be a 17, the other side's going to be a 14. We'll go ahead and loosen that up and remove the bolt. So we've got the nut and washer, and then on the other side, we've got the bolt and washer. Next, I'm going to put a block of wood underneath the tire, and that's going to open up some space so the shock can come out. And at this point, I can go ahead and pull that upper shock mounting bolt and remove the shock straight out of the bottom. And just pay attention to the orientation of the shock as it comes out. The next thing we're going to do is take the shock over to the bench. We've got a vise with soft jaws. If you don't have soft jaws, you could use a couple blocks of wood or maybe even a rag. Just be really careful that you don't damage the shock body. So what we're going to do is clamp this eyelet in our soft jaws. Gonna get that snug, and then we need to break the lock ring loose. So if for some reason you don't have a vise, you can break this loose with the shock on your bike with that shock punch. But for us, it's just easier out here. And if your bike's been in use for a lot of years, you might want to spray some WD-40 or penetrating oil on these threads right here. So we're going to break that lock ring loose, and then we can just turn spring assembly. That's going to back off the adjuster ring. You can see we had quite a bit of preload on this. That preload has a huge effect on how the bike rides. So once you're far enough, you should be able to back off that adjuster by hand. And then we've got this retaining ring at the top. I'm gonna rotate that forward so you can see there's that cutout. And we're gonna have to go beneath this bumper on the shock. So I'm gonna back that off just a little more. I'm gonna press this down and then pull this retaining ring out. And then from here, we can pull the shock spring off. All right, now that we have all the old stuff off, the shock's clean, we're ready to go back together, but one thing you don't wanna forget is to measure your spring. So with that, you wanna measure from this flat edge to the other side where it's flat as well. So we're gonna measure this in millimeters. So I'm 202 millimeters right there. Write that down. And our preload on this shock or on this spring is gonna be 8 millimeters. So keep that in mind as you go back together. Now, we had 3 different collars that came with the spring. So the 2 collars that are the same, you're gonna put one on each end, and that gap, I would have that next to this flat edge. I don't want it sitting next to this open end. So just like that, I'm gonna flip it over. Again, same thing. And then on this end, we've got another collar. I'm just gonna space the gap out a little different. And that's gonna give us the correct spacing for that retainer. So from here, we can go ahead and take this spring and set it onto the shock body. Put the retainer in place. If you want to lube up these threads, it's not a bad idea. A little bit of penetrating oil, WD, something like that. And just as a precaution, I like to make sure the gap in the collar doesn't line up with the gap in the retainer. So right here, we're just starting to get some tension on this. So this is where we need to preload at 8 millimeters. So I'm gonna spin that down and we'll take a measurement. So I'm 4 millimeters, need to go twice as much. So right there, I'm 194. So at this point, I can go ahead and tighten down the lock ring. Now, if you're having a hard time getting this to turn, you can use a spanner wrench for it, or you can use that shock punch to help get that preload on there. So you can see that nut eventually just gets tight. That means it's locking that down, and we can take this shock back over to the bike and get it installed. Now for the bolts going back in, you either want to use a little anti-seize or some grease right here across the middle. You don't even need as much as I used right there. Just a little coating to prevent corrosion.
Now we can position the shock and install the upper bolt.
Now it's kind of hard to see, but we'll put the washer on, the nut, and then we're going to torque that to 36 foot-pounds. Now for the lower shock mount, we'll pass the bolt through, make sure you keep the washer on each side. Thread the nut on, and then this one gets torqued to 29 foot-pounds. Now we can pull the block of wood and line up your linkage, install the bolt. We've got the washer, and then we're going to torque the nut to 43 foot-pounds. Next, we'll put the relays back in place. Install the side covers and reinstall the seat. So that's it for the shock spring install on your Yamaha XT250. If you need one of these, you can find them on our website. Just click the link in the description below. We offer free shipping on orders over $75. So take advantage of that and subscribe to our channel for more helpful content. I'm Charles with Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Thanks for watching.